If you own a company in Ukraine, one of the first questions is this: how much power does the director actually have? And how can you control that power? In Ukraine, a company director is not just a manager. In many cases, the director is the person who can act on behalf of the company in everyday business matters. That means that the director can usually sign contracts, represent the company before state authorities, work with the contractors, manage employees, oversee operational activity, and handle many day-to-day legal and business decisions. And here is the key point. By default, a Ukrainian director has very broad powers. So if you are foreign investors or foreign shareholders, this creates an obvious concern. What if the director acts too freely or against the owner's real intentions? The good news is that the Ukrainian law gives you several practical tools to reduce these risks. Hi, my name is Andrei Navrotsky. I'm a managing partner of the Ukraine-based law company Seraphim Lawyers, and we are dealing mainly with the foreign business which invests and make business in Ukraine. Let's go to our today's topic: how to control a Ukrainian director, simple legal tools for foreign owners. As usually, we keep it simple and do it in simple terms. The first tool is to limit director's power in the charter. So the first tool is the company's charter. The charter can clearly say that certain actions are not allowed without the prior approval from the shareholders. For example, you can require prior written consent for loans and borrowings, giving money or financial aid, financial support to third parties, signing large contracts above the certain amount, terminating important contracts, or, for example, opening and closing bank accounts. This is one of the most important control mechanisms, because if the restriction is properly written into the charter, it means that it creates a legal framework for limiting the director's freedom in general. The second tool is what many international businesses know as the 4 eyes principle. In simple terms, it means that one person alone is not enough for certain important actions. So even if the director has the first signature, some transactions might require a second signature from another authorized person. This creates an extra layer of control. It is especially useful if the owner wants to make sure that the director cannot move money or approve sensitive transactions alone. So let me go, please, more detailed over this 4 eyes principle in order to better understand the first and second signature system. So let us make even this more simple. First signature. Usually the director has the right of the first signature. This means that the director may sign key company documents, such as contracts, bank documents, applications to state authorities, financial and tax documents. The second signature is usually given to a person responsible for finance or control. Very often this is the chief accountant, a finance manager, another authorized person, or in some cases even a foreign representative of the owner. The idea is simple. Important financial actions should not depend on one person only. That's why this 4 eyes principle is very good to implement as one of the control tools from the foreign investor, from the foreign shareholders. So the first signature belongs to director. The second signature belongs to the person, usually appointed directly by the owner. The next tool. Foreign owner can also be part of the control system. This is where things becomes very practical for foreign investors. If a foreign citizen wants to control companies' payments in Ukraine, that person can potentially be added to the bank structure as a person with a second signature right, or, for example, with the main digital bank account key. In practice, this means that the director may initiate the payment in online banking, for example, but without the second authorized signature or main digital bank account key, the payment will not go through. This can be a very strong anti-abuse mechanism. Usually, this authority can be based on a shareholder's resolution or a power of attorney. But there is important practical issue. The authorized foreign person must usually go through identification with the bank. In many cases, this requires personal identification either in Ukraine or if the bank has such an option, possibly through a foreign branch. Another one that I call internal documents also matters tools. What I'm talking about. The charter is the main documents, but it should not work alone. It is also useful to regulate signature rights and internal control in documents such as internal policies documents, executive body regulations, financial control procedures. These documents can explain which documents need only one signature, which documents need two signatures, who can temporarily replace a signatory, how signature powers can be delegated. So the real protection is not just appointing a director, but building a control system around the director. Final point. So, can a Ukrainian director be controlled? Yes, but only if the structure is built correctly from the start. If you do nothing, the director may have a very broad practical power. But if you properly draft the charter, add approval thresholds, use the four eyes principle, and structure bank signature carefully, you can significantly reduce risks. And this is exactly how foreign owners usually protect themselves in Ukraine. Not by removing the director's role, but by creating a legal and banking system where the director cannot make sensitive, important decisions alone. I explained only several tools in this short video. In the practice, there are many other ones. More detailed about them you will find in the description to this video. In the meantime, I wish you success. Till the next video. Bye bye.